Hello and welcome into the Cubs on Deck podcast. I am one of your hosts. Today, I am joined for a new edition of the offseason interview series. Today, I'm joined by recurring guest now, Cole Roederer. Cole, how's it going, buddy?
Pretty good, man. How you doing? Hey, I'm just gonna say this now. I like that intro music. It's nice.
You can find some good stuff for free online, dude.
I turned the unmute off. I was like, dang, this is nice.
I dig it too. But we got the outro music going with that too, so you can vibe out at the very end too. It'll be good.
I love it.
But man, we've got you on as you are the first two-time player guest on the Cubs on Deck show. We had you on one time with me and Jimmy back in the day on the Growing Cubs show. So I mean, you're a vet on the podcast airwaves at this point.
Dude, I'm basically a salty vet at this point. What can I say?
You're basically a co-host of the show, right?
Right? That's what I'm saying. I just need a chair.
So you know how this goes. We're just gonna chat some baseball, talk about what your year looked like last year, see what's going on. Typically, I do like the kind of rapid fire questions at the beginning or end of the show. I'm not gonna do that here with you as much. I feel like I've rapid fired questions out with you. I've done enough of those. So I guess I'll start off by saying we're recording this on December 11th. So this is going to air a little bit later, but we're recording this on December 11th. The Shohei Ohtani news just broke a couple days ago. What's your take on Shohei Ohtani signing for $700 million?
Say $700 million. Honestly, the $700 million, I think is weirdly enough. I think it's justified. If he really back and he's a two-way player like that, he's the best that the world's ever seen. But man, the break. Wow. I mean, talk about a wrench. Like, I was like, all right, he's about to get, the $70 million per year, which like is tough in California because taxes, I mean, you're gonna lose half of that. Mm-hmm. And then the wrinkle. They come out with 2 years over the next 10. He takes $20 million out of his contract. The next whatever, dude. He has to. That's just crazy that the Dodgers can do that.
I mean, that's the thing is like the Dodgers are gonna like run wild at this point. Like they got Ohtani on that deal. They can go out and get whoever the hell they want and just be a super team. I mean, they've already been a super team over the past two decades, damn near. Yeah. And like now they're gonna get even better.
Yeah, like one of my friends called me about it this morning, and I was like, dude, because he thought it was crazy. He's like, the Dodgers are just gonna they just owe this guy for life. It's like a Bobby Bonilla on steroids.
Yeah,
and it is. Don't get me wrong. But Bobby Bonilla wasn't the best player to ever walk the earth. So it's tough. Exactly. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like with this contract, man, on paper, you should take the next at least 5 World Series.
Dude, it cracks me up because like as soon as like the news initially broke, everyone was like, there were fans out there like, oh, I wouldn't give him $700 million. And like, first of all, like I would, and then it came out that like the way his deal was structured and it was like, yeah, now what are you saying? Considering the deal the Dodgers got him on, it's wild to me.
Yeah, I kind of see like it's crazy because I even look at the social media and everybody's kind of like wishy-washy. Like one side is very kind of upset about it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is dirty the way he did it. You know what I mean? And then the flip side of things is like it's business.
If you can do it, do it.
And like not everybody is handed that opportunity. And honestly, I think if you give all those people that said that the same opportunity, I think they make the same choice.
Dude, what's it gotta like take? I mean, besides like the most ridiculous skill in the entire world, but like to work that hard to be that good at both hitting and pitching, it's wild. Like how does a human being do that?
Well, he's an alien. First of all, let's get something right. He's a freak of nature. He's one of the most special athletes the world will probably ever see. Truthfully, like you have like guys like Deion Sanders and like the Barry Bonds and the Ken Griffey's, the Jackie Robinson. You have these very special athletes throughout history. Dude, this dude throws 100 miles an hour and he hits 50 homers a year. Like
crazy.
Dude, like they don't never.
I mean, you're a big NBA guy, right?
Yeah, I mess with the NBA.
How do you think that that Shohei would do on the hardwood?
I don't think it would translate as much.
You know,
he's a big dog.
Dude, I don't know. Like
he's a freak, but like
it's different.
Dude, those dudes are also freaks.
Yeah, they are.
Have you ever like been courtside with them? Like seen them?
Wild.
I feel like that little kid with my dad walking through the park. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like,
well, are you like 6 foot tall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Every dude I meet, I'm like, "What's up, dude? How you doing?" Like, I don't know. I feel like a son to everybody.
All right, man. We let's get to you here. I got to start off. I think both times we've had you on the show, I've led off by saying, "What's up with the tattoo game? Have you added anything new recently?"
I have got new things.
All right.
So I was in Australia for a while. My off season, I was basically there from Halloween until February 4th, February 5th. I was there a long time. While I was over there, I had the privilege of meeting two very, very special teammates from Japan. They play on the Yokohama Bay Stars. But I really have always been invested in that culture, and I really enjoy the Japanese culture and what they stand for, all that stuff that comes with it. So I began to, try to learn some Japanese, and, things translated, and I was like, hey, man, I want to get this thing from my mom. My mom's word has always been believe. That's her biggest thing in the world, has always been believe. And there's a special tattoo that I want to get once I make the show, and once I've, believed in my dreams and I've made it enough where I can get that and be like, hey, I did it. But for the time being, I don't have any tattoos for my mom, and I felt like she needed one. You know what I mean? Like she sacrificed her whole life for me. So I basically got this. I basically got to have faith or believe in Japanese. I got that spelled out on my right here. And then on the bigger non-emotional side of ones, I had to get my leg sleeve finished. So I had about 90% of it. I had basically one more piece to fill out, and then one piece to finish. So I finished the Medusa, the top of my quad, almost at like my hip area, which, yeah, it's really high, guys. I'm not gonna lie. And then I got Athena because she's just a stone cold killer. She's the GOAT, you know what I mean? She's crazy. So I really like Athena, and I put her next to Medusa just for the storyline of, her giving Medusa the snake head and all that stuff, and that whole this situation. So I got that all put there. I got it all finished. There's a lot of pain. My hamstring sucks. Do it. If you do, don't be a man about it. Get numbing cream. I just do it. You know what I mean?
I love it. I knew you were working on finishing up the leg sleeve, so it's finished. It's complete.
Dude, it's been so long since I've been able to do it, just with Tommy John and then going overseas and all that stuff, just finding a proper time to do it without my rehab, without it stopping what I was able to do. So I was happy as soon as I got home. Yeah, I had text him like, hey, man, what are the chances that I'm here this week, 6 days? What are the chances? And I had gotten in that day, and he's like, well, you can come down today. And I was like, I don't know, ready for all that. Tomorrow. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So I basically was there from 4:45. I got in there. We started at 6 after stencil and, the chalking it up, what do we ever do? And then I walked out of there 1 a.m.
Oh my God, dude. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's a long day. That's a long day of pain.
I was barely a human when I got home. Like emotionally just distraught, wrecked. I was exhausted. It had been the longest 2 days of my life.
I love it. All right, man. So you're down in Arizona. Are you down in Arizona right now? Is that where you're at? What's been going on for the off season with you down in Arizona?
Dude, I'm coming for skulls. That's what we're doing.
I love it.
But I've been getting after it. You know what I mean? I'm not at the facility right now. I just want to work out and get after my business and all that stuff. So the facility is kind of we're on a dead period now, so there's not a lot of people there. You know what I mean? There's strength coaches, but it's more for the 40-man guys and the big league guys. So I'm training at a facility in Phoenix with a bunch of absolute dogs. I love going in there every day. You know what I mean? I'm doing everything in my power to make me ready and the best human being and the best ball player for the 2024 season. So hitting there and then hitting with some pretty special cats as well. Some people of very high honor and very high respect in the baseball world. So I'm excited for what I come to bring to the table next year, to be honest with you. I think my time spent on the field the past 2 years, my injuries and coming back, I felt like you definitely saw who I used to be and who I still am and who is still very much alive and beating. And I think this year with a full off season, you give me time. I think that, with the right things to happen and me keep working hard, I think I'm going to make things happen this year.
Yeah, I can kind of hear it in your voice for sure in terms of that determination that you have. Are you working on anything specifically or just getting after it in general?
I'm working on being strong. Just last season I cracked my collarbone second week in the season, bad luck, and then re-injure it coming into the season and really just having to play on it. So automatically upper body strength is going to go down a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dealing with huge. And then toward the end of the season, just body's just slowly breaking down. So I had played the whole season in Australia. I didn't really necessarily know how my body was going to react by the end of the season, to be honest with you. I was really just trying to stay on my maintenance every day, trying to go above and beyond on what I had to do on my routine to make sure I could stay healthy every day. You know, an old salty vet one time told me that your best ability is your availability. So I just had to stay on the field. So I don't really know where I was going with that, but
no, I think it's good that like it's you've had a wild ride in terms of the times that you've been healthy, the locations you've played, the path that you've taken. Like you've just since your draft day, like it's been and the COVID year, like it's been the Tommy John surgery, like it's been nothing but ordinary. It's been just a crazy ride from you for like since the day you've been drafted.
Yeah, I mean, if you told that 18-year-old kid with a sparkle in his eye that, you know, how my career would go and the trials and the tribulations I'd have to face and the things I'd have to go through, I would have told you were nuts. You know, I would have told you were crazy. But at the end of the day, I really think it's going to make me a better ball player. And not even that, I think it's going to make me a better man.
Yeah.
Truthfully. Like, there's some things I had to go through that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, and there's things that I would love to experience with my best friend. You know what I mean? Like the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, but I couldn't be happier for the position I'm in now. You know what I mean? Like, was I unhappy about it at one point? Of course we are. And nobody's content, you know, when you're down, but I'm scratching and clawing my way back to the top, and I'm going to get there. Whatever it takes, however long it takes, you're going to have to carry me off the field.
Dude, I thought you we'll get into your season this past year because I think that just like watching from my perspective, I thought you looked a lot more comfortable out there most of the time, which was awesome to see. Like I thought it was great to see that. But real quick, one more question about you down in Arizona. What's like a day in the life of you in the off season look like? Is it like when are you going to the gym? Like how what does it look like for you during the off season?
So day in the life, if I'm hitting, it's a little bit different. I'm just gonna run through it. My Mondays are it's a tough Monday morning. Let me tell you, it's a tough Monday. I get up, you know, I don't have to get up that early. I get up with my dog. I take him for a walk, do my thing. I'm at the facility by about 10:15, 10:30. So I got a nice little start to my morning. I can take my dog for a walk, make myself breakfast, do whatever I need to do, and then it starts. I mean, hey, leg day on Monday is tough. You know,
start off the week with leg day.
Dude, start off the week with like an hour of conditioning.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm trying to be on the field every inning of every pitch and everything. I guess this running thing is what you got to do this whole off season. So, man, an hour of running, hour of like it's all mixed with mobility and core and trying to strengthen up every piece of your body. And then we go into the leg lifts. I finish up my leg lifts probably around 1. So it's about, you know, we start at 11, finish at 1. I got 5 minutes to hang out. And then I got to drive 30 minutes across town to go hit.
Okay. Yeah.
So then I'm hitting by myself. Pretty typical. For about an hour. So it's not like I'm taking breaks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm taking my 5 to 8 swings, you know, the proper amount, resetting, letting the brain compute everything. If I'm at certain places, I'll look at video and watch all that stuff, break it down, chalk it up, figure out what we want to do, go forward. But sometimes I'm just by myself with a person who I find great respect for, and it's just me and him. So like I'm bouncing off him. There's not a lot of people around. There's no technology. It's the sound of the bat. It's the sound of what we're doing. So finish up with that around probably 2:20, 2:30. Drive 30 minutes back to the house, and then those days, my days are kind of over. I hang out with my dog. I make some food, like meal prep for the next day. Do some mobility, arm care, whatever I do. I got a little whiteboard now, so I gotta keep myself accountable all year. You know what I mean? But like my easier days, on Tuesdays and all that stuff, I go to the field at 9 in the morning, get my body worked on, the full 9 yards, go in the hot tub, stretch out, mobility, you know what I mean, get it scraped, get it worked on, if whatever I need. And then I go to the facility and go hit my upper body lifts. So that's the same thing from 11 to about 1:30. After that, I usually throw whatever I need to do more arm care, whatever. Go home, same thing. So it's honestly a really nice life in the off season. Most of my stuff finishes about midday, around 3 or 4 p.m. And then I'm just a lazy human being, just on the game, grinding Call of Duty, just one of the game boys. You know what I mean?
Is that the move? Is the Call of Duty? That's the move in the off season?
Dude, I mean, I'm on it right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. The new game come out, I'm bought in. I'm bought in right now. So,
You're done for.
dude, I mean, I'm in a routine right now too, because I like with Kenai, my dog. At 5 o'clock, everybody's off the golf course. So we're out there for an hour, baby. I mean, I'm giving this dude long throws. You know, I mean, I'm letting him eat so he can run around. That
Hell
way,
yeah.
I can a couple hours while he passes out on the floor. You know what I mean? So
Well,
like,
we were talking about it before we came on and started recording. You gotta keep the dog active. Gotta keep it going, man.
unbelievably active. So I have to tire him out till he'll sleep while I play. Because if I'm not, he just like the way my chair is, he literally just like picks up his ball and puts it right next to my side, so it just drops on me, and then I just have to like toss it back, and it's just like I'm trying to focus. You know what I mean? I'm getting these kids are whooping me right now.
No, dude, I think it's good though. Like it sounds like you got a very strict routine on how you're kind of going about your days, going about your weeks and stuff like that. That feels super. I mean, because that's how you are during the season, right? Like during the
Yeah,
season, it's very strict on like when you need to be here, when you need to be there, when the game starts, when you're back, like all of that stuff. It feels like it's good to keep that routine, even
yeah,
if it's a different routine, but keeping a routine in the off season going.
yeah. I might be a little weird in this regard, but like my routine in season is like extremely time oriented. Like
Yeah.
I got everything based down to the minute. You know what I mean? Like I'm honestly weird about it. So for 8 months out of the year, 9 months out of the year, my routine is set every single day of the week for
Mm-hmm.
8. So the weirdest thing about coming back, especially in the off season, especially because I didn't have one in the off season last year, I just kept doing that routine. So that one was like a full year. It's not. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but like it's a little weird coming back home and like not
Yeah.
being on. It's like I almost get in like a creature of habit. You know what I mean? Like doing the same little things every day, and then I'm like, what is going on? I got to do something different. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's fair. That's fair for sure. All right, one more thing that's not necessarily directly about you, but I talked with Cole Franklin on the show a few weeks ago, and I was getting his perspective of the tacky baseballs that were used in the Southern League this year. And to get his perspective from a pitcher was really interesting, especially from a pitcher that throws a lot of changeups.
Yeah.
He wasn't about it. He said that there was a dumb idea to incorporate those tacky baseballs. I know at times it was really tough on the hitters,
Yeah.
especially for like fastballs up in the zone. I'm curious to get a hitter's perspective of what playing with those tacky baseballs were like.
All right. I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
and I really might catch some heat for this. This might be a very hot take, but I think we should just go back to them using stick. I really do.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't
Okay.
want to get dang face
Yeah.
a lot. You know what I mean?
So
Like
wait, so did you'd rather like them go back to like using whatever concoctions they have or
my,
using like the sticky baseballs that were used in the Southern League?
I think there should be a regulation. I don't want dudes just ripping curveballs and I can hear their skin tearing off the ball.
Yeah.
But as old as time, these boys have been doing this. The only reason it got weird and got blown out of proportion is because spectators found it out.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if I came in when I was 18 years old, you don't think I watched pitchers load up with shaving cream, load up with Pelican, load up with this and that? Dude, I've seen it all. I don't care. I'm gonna bust your chops regardless. That's my job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you regulate it though?
I think you should have a mixture. I think
Okay.
you should do your checks on the glove, whatever, to make sure it's not ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
But like dudes back in the day, you'd know when they were cheating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They made it obvious. Let that be how we dictate it. If a dude's blatantly cheating, clip him. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But if a dude's using a little bit of stick and his stuff's over the zone, I mean, these dudes it's gonna be in the zone. You know what I mean? I'd rather it be in the zone than you yanking fastballs right past me and then you dot up 3 changeups on the corner.
Yeah. I mean, it's true because you're looking at like basically what you're weighing is like a guy with fastballs that are riding up crazy spin or sliders that have crazy amount of sweep on them, but they know where they're going,
Yeah.
or guys that are still throwing as hard as they possibly can with no idea where they're going and just a little less spin. And so
Yeah, dude,
like,
I've
yeah,
seen have a couple dudes that throw extremely hard. I've seen a couple dudes on other organizations that throw extremely hard. These human beings have also thrown the ball to the backstop.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen dudes throwing 99, first pitch in my AB, they're trying to get top of the zone fastball, and the ball's hitting 15 feet up. Dude,
Yeah.
I peed a little. You know what I mean? You're nervous. Like, that face, that's your livelihood. If this dude yanks one.
Can you tell the difference in like a 3,200 RPM slider and like a 2,700 RPM slider? Is that something you can tell like when you're at the plate?
I mean, they're both filthy. You know what I mean? But one is just a wipeout slider.
Yeah.
So there's some dudes that we've had that throw 3,200 RPM sliders. I've seen them. They're disgusting. They just.
Is it the same way with fastballs that are like riding up?
Yeah.
Can you feel that difference? You
see them for sure. You know what I mean? Like you can, but even now, like with the tacked up baseballs, you see them now. Like guys are jumping vert now. I've seen 22, 23, 24. We even have a guy who throws 25. No one's ever seen a 26. That's just a guy's got to stop. But we've seen 25s all year. It's getting more consistent every year. So it's like the game's gonna evolve. I just think that the tacked up baseballs, like I don't see it as a realistic long-term solution.
Yeah. And I think that when Cole Franklin was talking about it, I think he's coming from a perspective of like he has that changeup, right? And like
slide off.
Exactly. And if you're tacking up the changeup, like you're getting more spin on the changeup, and that's the opposite of what you want. Like you want less spin on the changeup. And so like that was I know that was tough on him especially, but like you're saying, like if you have the ability to still use tack in the ways that you want to use it, then some other guy can use it for his slider. But if Cole Franklin doesn't want to use it for his changeup, then he doesn't have to.
Yeah.
You know?
And like the problem is now is like I think that baseball kind of wants this steroid era, not in the sense of guys taking them, but they want the excitement that the game brought in that era. So I think that they're trying to do everything they can. Dude, we played with 4 different balls this year. Like, we played with balls that we had guys like Owen Casey going 119 off the bat. And don't get me wrong, he's a special human being. Like, that dude can hit this out of the ball. But, like, 119, and then you take the other balls, and he's hitting them 112. It's like, what the heck were we just hitting?
Yeah.
And then you dudes like Acuna, like 122, 120. Like I think it was was it 126 or 122?
It was 120. I think it was like 122 or something like that. Yeah.
And like, I get it. This dude's a freak of nature strong.
But like also like Owen didn't like stop being a freak of nature all of a sudden. You know, like he didn't go from hitting the 119 to being like, oh, like I can't hit at 119 now.
Yeah.
It's just like, a different ball.
Well, like the problem is a complete different ball.
Yeah.
Like he's hitting the ball like we even talked about it because I was hurt when this stuff happened. Like I've talked to guys across the league and like they use these juiced up baseballs 119, 118, 117 off the bat. And it's like, dude, these are great. My numbers are boosted. You know what I mean? But then it's like they change the ball out of nowhere and don't. And it's like the ball that I.
Yeah.
Like, can we just use the same ball?
Just give me some consistency, basically.
Yeah. Like, let us know what we're doing. Because, like, I felt like at the beginning of the season, even last year, like, the balls were extremely slick. And then they were over-tacked. And then they, like, a happy medium, but then it, like, faded. So they were like, okay, now we got to do something else.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man, I promise we get to your season last year. So you started off the year in Tennessee. And the first couple of weeks you were there, you played a couple times per week. And then you mentioned you went down with the injury. So what was, I guess I feel like I've asked you this question before in terms of like how do you mentally, like how were you mentally when you went down with that injury, and kind of what that process looked like for you both physically and mentally during that month that you were out?
Oh, man, I mean, I'd be lying to say if it didn't break me a little bit.
Yeah.
It definitely lit something up inside me that I just like I could not contain anymore. You know what I mean? I worked really hard, gave up all of my holidays, seeing my family, my siblings, my dog. I gave up everything to go overseas and play and show everybody that I'm back. I'm here. I can do this. I promise I'm not a waste of time. I know I can do this. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I had just earn the opportunity to try.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, dude. I mean, because you mentioned like we talked to you. It was probably about this time last year,
mhm.
when you were down in, or when you had just come back, or you were still in Australia, I guess.
Yeah,
And it was like it was just a different type of motivation that you had coming into this 2023 season, and
yeah,
for it to like go after 2 weeks. I mean, it's one thing to go like half a season or something like that, but it's like another thing for like it to happen 2 weeks into the year. You know?
yeah. It took a lot of time, to be honest with you. Like I did after it happened, I had like the why me,
Mm-hmm.
what happening to me? What did I do to do this? Like I worked so hard, I don't deserve this. You know what I mean? Like that petty stuff. But then something just changes in you. You know what I mean? Like you can't change what happened. You can only make the best of the situation you're presented with. To be honest with you. So I kind of just tried to change my perspective of something special is about to happen. I just wasn't ready for it yet. Something special is going to happen. I just have to give it time. And I knew that. Like I knew something was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I got hurt, I was like when I was coming back, like I knew it. And that change saved my like that injury kind of saved me, to be
Yeah.
real. Like that was a blessing in disguise. I went back home, I talked to our hitting coaches, I was like, hey man, I don't like where my swing is at when I was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to what I was doing like a long time ago. What do you think? And he was like, if it stinks, I'm gonna let you know it stinks, but I'm gonna go take a look at your old stuff. And he came back and he was like, let's get to work. And that was that moment I'll never forget in my life. Like that was I just needed someone in that moment when I was down to be like, hey man, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sorry.
say you got to reach just like a fuck it moment where you're just
Yeah.
like I'm just going for it.
Yeah. Like let's go. Like there's
Yeah,
no time to waste. Like you want to do it your way? Do it your way. Let's see how it goes.
yeah,
And I just needed someone to believe in me like that in that moment. And that was what changed it. And then when I came back, my swing was my swing. It was something that I did, that I built with special people. I built it with like a Craig Wallenbrock. And that was something that was very near and dear to me to showcase what something I had built that had been in the shadows for so long. I was like, just give me more time now. Like when my body wasn't feeling great at the end of the season, like I, it was tough being on the field. You know, I mean, how I felt, how my body was breaking down.
mm-hmm.
But you couldn't peel me off that field. Like
Yeah.
I needed to, like my soul needed to be on that field. Like I wasn't gonna be content with what I had done. I wasn't gonna be content with what like the man I was living with, the man I was looking in that mirror, unless I stayed on that field and just manned it out the whole year.
Well, dude, I mentioned it like when you returned, and you kind of hinted at it there. It's like you just looked like a different player. I thought from what I'd seen in the past few years, and obviously you felt that way. You came back in late May, and when you returned, you were getting everyday playing time. You were that way throughout the rest of the year. What did that mean getting after these injuries, after the kind of easing your way back, kind of getting a feel for being back on the field, changing your swing, stuff like that? What did it mean to get that kind of consistent playing time in the outfield day in and day out?
It was great. Like
Yeah.
in the it was great. I felt like it was something that not that I had earned, but it's something that if you give me the chance,
Yep.
I'll Lou Gehrig, you ain't gonna take me out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll be that dude that you can depend on. Doesn't matter if I'm hurting, doesn't matter if I'm sick. Like you can depend on me. I'll be there regardless. I'll give you all my body. I'll whatever it takes. If I have to hit a wall, I'll do it. If I have to lay out in the bullpen and scrape my whole body up, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like I just wanted them to give me that chance to show them that I could do that for them. So when I got back, some things had changed with our arrangements in Tennessee with all of our staff and stuff like that. And I think that was the biggest blessing for me, truthfully.
Yeah.
I had not only one of my best friends in professional baseball, Zach Davis, along my side, I had DJ Artis. So two of my best friends in the whole world right there, mentoring me the whole way. And then I had a really special manager come out. Great dude, just a really good mental dude that kind of kept my head above water and just kind of in times when I didn't believe in myself as much as I should, like that dude boosted me up. So his name's Kevin Graber. He's our he was our manager in Double A at the end of the year. But
I was gonna say I've heard nothing but like the best about Kevin Graber.
there's something special about that dude, and like aside from baseball, like you could not have him step on the white lines with you, truthfully, and like he would still impact your life. He's a manager that like he's not a manager. He's a coordinator. You know what I mean? He came in just like he always been like cool with us. You know what I mean? But he couldn't have that familiarity with us because he's a coordinator. You know what I mean? Like with that coordination with big jobs comes unfortunate responsibilities, and unfortunate responsibilities require him to, you know, ruin our life and cut us. You know what I mean? Like that's just part.
Yeah.
I think with him coming and becoming a manager, I think that definitely gave him the ability just to be closer with us and kind of familiarize himself with us and kind of learn about us. And off the field, I think that dude did more for us than a lot of managers have. You know what I mean? Like he cared. Like, dude, I remember this. I think it was Blake Whitney. I'm almost positive it was Blake Whitney, but don't quote me. But he's coming off the field, comes in the dugout, comes in the back steps. He comes down the steps. This is like early KG days. And this one, like, everybody's kind of on the fence about him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. He's like new. He's new in the middle of the year. It's a weird situation. Yeah.
It was a weird situation. Yeah. Everybody's real on the fence. And sure as shit, dude, this dude, Blake, comes in the dugout. This dude, KG, marches down and just, boom, just chest bumps me. And I was right behind. I was right here. I was like, right here, just like a fly on the wall, just like, you know what I mean? Like,
did that really just happen?
Yeah, I was rattled. Like, I was like, I've never.
What did Blake do? Like, how do you react? Like, how do you react to that?
The only thing you can do, and you get juiced the heck right in that moment. I mean, dude, I was ready to run through a wall for the way Blake reacted. Like, he was like, yeah, you know, he's like going nuts. And I was like, wow, we're about to win this whole thing right now. We're crazy. Like, we're nuts. There's no way we're losing. Like, this dude, like, and after that, I kid you not, after that moment, like, man, we went on a tear.
Yeah. Well,
we were smacking everybody.
I was gonna say you had an incredibly talented team in Tennessee. Like that Tennessee team was. I mean, I've been covering Cubs prospects since I was in college, and we're several years out from that now. I graduated 6 years ago now, so I've been doing this for about a decade, and that was probably the best collection of talent that I've seen on a Cubs affiliate team in my time covering this organization. It was so talented.
That team, not only talent, that team meshed well.
Yeah. And played hard.
Yeah, hard.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times as things change, you go up in levels, down levels. There's age differences. There's different circumstances. There's marriages. There's dudes that are just getting out of high school and college and da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? The world is everything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So on that team, we were all around the same age. Got a lot of guys got drafted together. The old group had also been drafted together. So it was like two of these these draft classes just mixing. And we actually got along very well. You know what I mean? So, like, after games, we would be playing, like, golf on the Switch, full 18s. We would be going over to dudes' places to hang out, play Super Smash Bros. And, you know, going, like, just always around each other. And it was more and honestly, that's kind of how I expected a college team to be.
Yeah.
Like, just that love. But, I mean, that translates. Like, them boys play hard because you know that dude behind you is going to do it for you.
Well, I mean, you talked about the team got on a heater there, but can we talk about the absolute heater that you went on in July? So I pulled up your numbers July 1st through July 21st. So you got 3 weeks here. You hit 421 with a 569 on base percentage and a 497 slug, which 497 OPS would be good, but you 497 slug or 947 slug with 6 home runs in that 3 week span. Like, you just went on an absolute tear. And like, it was kind of like timed out. Like we just talked about, like you came back in late May, you got eased into you got back into the swing of things, I guess is the better way to describe it. And then you just took off. What was that like? Do you remember specifically going on that heater?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was some aggression in that heater. Let me tell you, like, that was a big moment, like a big stick it to him for a lot of people. For me, to be honest with you, like that moment, that stretch was something that I know I can do all year. You know what I mean? Like I know I can handle that for long term.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know I can, because that month of July, like crushed.
Yeah.
Like, and that 3-week span was just red hot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like just. Oh man, that's like that feeling. If you like that feeling of being in that moment where you walk in between the lines, you step in that box, take a deep breath, you could smell everything. It's just so crispy, and it's like when that dude, like you just know in your brain, this guy's so screwed. Like there was points in time where like I'm getting the box and it's almost like time is so slow. Like I'm just in that just molasses moment where I'm in the box and this dude's coming at me with something dirty, and then dang, he just got nothing for me today. You know what I mean? And that feeling is the game of, like, that's the drug of baseball for sure.
That's why you play. That right there is why you play.
Like that I've craved that feeling.
Yeah.
Like being so locked in, so in the flow state where it's like you're floating on the field a little bit. Like there's nothing can go wrong. You're just in like a daze where you don't want to think about it. You don't want to talk about it. But
I was gonna say, do you like how do you handle yourself like when you know you're on this run, like you're killing it, like what does like do you just like convince yourself that you're not, like how do you continue to stay on that run? Like do you not talk about it?
So obviously, since I only did it for a month, I haven't. You know what I mean? But in that month, I figured out what was triggering that response.
Yeah.
And certain things I was doing in the day, I'd wake up, make this certain breakfast, have this meal by this time, focus and studying by this time. And like I said, everything is down to the moment, down to the minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I back in the day and see what I'm doing and be like, we might be onto something here.
Yeah, I like it.
This is gonna sound so rude, and if my mom watches this, I love you. I swear to God, I'm not bashing on you. I was going nuts, and my family came out, and they always say a hungry dog runs faster. Uh-huh. You know, like I had been away from everybody for so long. I was hungry. I was driven. I didn't care about. I was waking up, going to the field, coming home. Like I was calling my parents once a day at most. Like I was very on my craft.
Mm-hmm.
When they came out, I hadn't seen them in so long, man. It was like my whole focus just shifted. Like I just wanted to give my parents a hug, my grandmother a hug, just be present with them. You know what I mean? When you're trying to solely devote your mind to something so incredibly difficult as baseball, and as these dudes are throwing 100+ miles an hour at all times, and they're just getting grosser by the day, you need all of your brain power.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't have it. You know what I mean? Like I was trying at that point, I was like, okay, they're coming to the games, about to go crazy. You know what I mean? I'm about to show them that, you know, I'm doing this, you know what I mean? Like I'm about to make them so proud. And then you press, and then you don't perform the way you want, and then you're upset with you. It's just like a whole spiral you try to like go through. You just have to like psych yourself out of it, to be real. But you can't talk about it, to be honest with you. Circle back to the long tangent. You can't talk about it. If you talk about it, man, it's like saying the Y word, dude.
Yeah.
You're so reckless if you're just throwing that word out there. Like nobody wants to hear that word. Stop saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's like I feel like like in your head. So like why say it out loud?
Exactly. Like I know what's going on. Like
they know. Like everybody that you're playing with on your team knows. The pitchers that are facing you, they know. Everybody knows. So it just like it doesn't even need to be said.
I think the best way, truthfully, to answer it is just to keep everything in perspective.
Yeah.
This game is extremely hard. It's a long season. You can't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Yeah.
There's always a peak and there's always a downfall that comes with it. But if you stay here and you have these little bumps and you just come, you're not doing this, but you're just coming up and staying on that midline, staying up on the midline. You know what I mean? You're staying there. And I think that's what kind of was getting me through the season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of my boys, he's one of the greatest players I've ever been able to play behind. His name is BJ Murray. Big Bert, like, it's my dude. I love him. He's honestly one of the best players I've been around. And after the games, like, I have extreme respect for this cat. This cat is dirty. You know what I mean? He's gross. Moves at 50%, but he's gross. Like Jokic sometimes on the field, but he always gets the job done. So I just never. But he'll be coming back in the locker room. We get locker mates, and he'd be like, "Dang, man, you going crazy today? Like, that was a crazy day." And you could let that kind of fuel you and go up. You know what I mean? Like, be here, or you'd be like, "Hey, man, like, I'm just happy to do it." You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to be like you. Like for me, like, I get awkward in those situations. So you mean, like, I know this dude's gross. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
But, like, you gross too. So, like, don't, like, this just I'm just trying to be like you.
Yeah, well, that's a good example though. Like, I feel like if you said, like, oh, from, like, pick out the player who is the most, like, even keel at all times.
Yeah.
I feel like BJ would probably be up there. Like, he just seems like he is just, like, never too high, never too low. He is the exact same person every at bat, every play, every day.
And that's what I like about, and that's like one thing I've tried to learn so hard from him is I'm an emotional guy. You know what I mean? Like, I play with a lot of emotion, a lot of aggression, a lot of, you know what I mean? I play hard.
Yeah.
BJ plays hard internally. You know what I mean?
That's good. Yeah.
Like, when things get thick and, like, he's not swinging it well, whatever the case may be, like, you will never see it.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've struggled with my career. It's something I've not figured out because it's still very hard, don't get me wrong, but it's something I'm unlocking and getting to that next step where I kind of understand how he's controlling his emotions a little bit and how that actually helps him a lot. But like you said, he's the most even keel guy. He's a great player. Like, I have immense respect for the cat. So when he gives me praise, I'm like, hey, man, like, truthfully, I'm just trying to be like you. Like,
Yeah. No.
I'm trying to be like you right now. So I'd always give that to him, and he would always get mad because he's like, man, you crazy, like, whatever. But it's true. Like, you look at dudes that you respect in the game and how they go about their business, how, like, a Chase Strumpf, how, like, back in the day, like a Tyler Durner, a lot of these cats, how they go about their business, very professional, very coordinated, very calculated. I like that. I want to be like, you know.
I kind of love that you mentioned Durna too, because we had Durna on the pod back in the day, and it was funny because I don't know who. I think we had talked to a few different. I think we talked to, like, it might have been you, and I think Brendan King too mentioned, like, oh, like, get Durna on the show. Like, he's hilarious. Like, he'll crack you up, and he was funny. But, like, you can tell, like, when he was thinking baseball, like, he was locked in. Even on the podcast, like, even on the podcast version of this, which is, like, I mean, it's funny. So it's just funny that you brought him up and, like, the way his mind kind of worked.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that will always be one of my favorite players in my whole life. That dude could have been a Gold Glover. I don't care what anybody said.
He was slick over there.
Gross.
Yeah,
he's the best person I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, he was good.
Like,
he was really good.
And he's happy. You know, I mean, he's living. He's got a wife, got a kid. He's living great life. Man, I miss seeing him in the clubhouse, and I love that cat. Like, I love seeing him. That one's a tough goodbye for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. So we talked about your heater in July. As we're kind of moving on through the season here, you kind of rode that out towards the end of the year and got that bump up. You got the promotion up to Iowa for what, 9 or 10 games to end the season.
Yeah, the last, like, 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I mean, the vibes had to be immaculate at that point, right? Like, what did it feel like to finally get that bump up to AAA? Which I know that's not the ultimate goal. Like, I know that, but also, like, being in AAA is different. Like, that's a different animal entirely, because, like, you are one step away. Like, you're playing with dudes who have been up in Chicago, have been up at the major league level. Like, what did that feel like getting that bump up to Iowa and kind of playing with some of those guys up there?
Let me just I want to give you a normal human response, and we'll go to, like, the professional response.
Right. I like it.
Like a kid, man, walking through the clubhouse, geeking like a kid, saying hi to the managers and staff, geeking like a kid. It was just everything was geeking like a kid, trying to, like, internal it, you know what I mean? Like, keep it on the chest, but man,
it was not happening. The internal was not happening.
Yeah. Dude, like, I walked outside and called my mom, and I was like, woo! You know what I mean? Like, going crazy. But then I walked back inside, and I was like, yeah, know what I mean? Like just trying to, because these dudes, like you said, man, these are very special crowd I was with there. So a lot of dudes have been around, you know what I mean? Like dudes around 4, 5, 6+ years in the big leagues. So there's a lot of dudes you can soak up knowledge from.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, that was my first real call up.
Yeah.
I got,
dude.
that was my first one. The one I got in 21, I didn't earn, or at 22 when I got called up to AA. I didn't earn, I didn't want. I'll never consider that a real call up.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I got called up because of situations, and to me, like that again, that's one of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for me, that's not the real call up. My first real one was from a man named Kevin Graber at a gas station at 4:30 in the morning in the middle of nowhere.
No way, dude.
Dude, like the crazy thing was we had a situation where a bunch of guys were getting called up and no one knew about it, and we were like, what's going on? And you know, KG was just like, hey man, like I don't know a lot of things right now, but like just keep working, man. You're like great, I believe in you. Just keep your head on a swivel, just keep pedal the metal. Let's just win this thing. And I told him, I'm like, hey man, like we're gonna win. We're gonna win. Like we're not playing extra games. Like we're going in there. We're whooping that butt. You know what I mean? We're going back and getting the ring. Like I told him that from the day he came there and the day I left.
Yeah.
Like that there was no doubt in my mind them boys were gonna avenge us from last year, and the dudes that were still there from last year were gonna gut it out regardless of what it took. I knew that. Mm-hmm. So when he told me at the gas station, I thought he was kidding. I'd never been really called up, man. Like I had he call up. So like I didn't get it. You know what I mean? He came up to me, he's like, hey man, I just want to say thank you for everything. And you know, but we're not gonna need you anymore. And this kind of like, yo, what? Did I just get released like this?
Yeah, well, why did he say it like that?
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Dude, hey, when I tell you, like, my heart dropped through the pavement. He was like, well, yeah, because you're going to the AAA. And I was like, whoo. Dang. You know what I mean? But, like, it was that's one of those moments I'll never forget. Like, that was the coolest moment. And to be honest with you, the emotion part of it wasn't there in that moment. The emotion part of it was waking my parents up and calling them and being like, hey, like, I did it. You know, I did it. I did it. I'm AAA, like, we're one step closer. Like, the dream is alive and well.
Yep.
And for me, like, a lot of people who have, like, really known me know this, but, like, my biggest dream is to, like, just see my parents at a big league game. Like, to call them and tell them, hey, like, I'm going to the big leagues, like, pack what you need. Like, we're going to the big leagues. And that's that moment, you know, I see, like, all these kids and all these dudes, like, they hit homers, whatever, they finish their first big league game. Like, even Pete, even, like, a lot of guys that I've known in the past, Matt McClain, all these cats, they hug their parents, and it's like this great moment between them. And I've always wanted that moment because my parents have given up so much in their life for me, man. Like, my parents have gone above and beyond at every step. So that's the dream. That, like, I want to play in the big leagues, obviously, for 10+ years, but that's, like, that is my
getting
thing.
that moment. Yeah.
With them.
Yeah. Man, and you're going, so you had this great, and I know you were just up in Iowa for a couple of weeks, but like you mentioned earlier, that's like in Tennessee, you just had a very like close-knit group in terms of like their backstories, right? Like the two different draft classes coming together. In AAA, like it is, you got guys that are like real young, that are whatever. You got guys that are multiple years in the big leagues that are in their 30s. Like it doesn't get, honestly, it doesn't get much more, even like more so than the big leagues. It doesn't get much more like sporadic in terms of the backstories on why people are there than AAA. I don't know if you picked up on that, or it was just kind of a whirlwind during your 2 weeks there, but like that's a wild environment.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. My thing was, and it might be a weird thing to say, but when I went up there, man, I'm the lowest man on the totem pole. Don't say nothing. Don't look at nobody. Yeah. Unless somebody speaks to you, don't speak. Don't do nothing. You know what I mean? You are the lowest man on the totem pole. earn your right to speak, earn your right to joke, whatever you want to do, but you got to earn your right to do everything, in my opinion, there. So when I went there, I greeted my locker mates, said hi to the people I knew, sat down, shut up, looked in my locker, got my business done, went out in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of these dudes are playing games, playing Xbox, all that stuff. Like, I felt like I hadn't been there long enough to do all that yet, so I sat in my chair like a good dude and didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I just watched.
Yeah.
And that's, like, I was just very happy to be in the midst of everybody that was there with the people that were there. So
I love it. Well, so you got that short spurt there, which was absolutely deserved. You got this off season that you're putting in work. What kind of goals do you have going into next season? I know that this is kind of a question I always got to ask everybody on the show is like, what's their goals going into next year? Do you have anything in mind in terms of like things you want to do personally or things you want to do as a team? Like what's your mindset going into 2024?
dominate. That's it. Dominate every day. Dominate the day. If I can be, you know, if I can be 1% better every day, everything will work itself out. And it's a long season. You know what I mean? Like, I think everybody, including myself, we get caught up in these accolades, these statistics. And if I cannot give up, honestly, if we're going to get real technical, if I could not give up, more than a dozen at bats a year, like the whole season, we're good. Mickey won the Triple Crown. He gave up 3. That's just outrageous. So I'll give myself a baker's dozen. You know what I mean? I'll right there. Let's just, you know what I mean? So, But truthfully, like, I just want to get better every day, every single day. I feel good in the box. I want to keep advancing. I want to keep driving off fields. I want to keep staying fast. I want to keep staying hungry. I want to keep making plays. I want to keep showing that the world and my boys on the field and the brothers beside me that whatever situation may come, like, I got your back. If you need me to run through a wall, I got your back. If you need me to hit a home run and jaw at somebody, I got your back. Whatever the situation may be, like, I'm riding with you to the day I can't get on the field anymore. So that's truthfully, like, that's all I want. I want that respect. That's honestly at the end of the day, like, you go out there to earn somebody's respect, and I'm going out there every day to earn somebody's respect.
All right, dude. You talked about writing for your teammates. You know what this time is at the end of the episode. I got to give you some time to fluff your boys. You already talked about BJ Murray quite a bit and the dog that he is. Who are some guys that just deserve all the love in the world that I should be talking about more on the show that just need some love? Your opportunity to fluff some of your guys here.
God, it's so hard. Why you gotta do this to me? All right, I'm locked in. Levi Jordan obviously just gets picked up in the Rule 5. Dog. Yeah. He doesn't get the opportunities he deserves. Doesn't falter. Doesn't waver. Can be a little salty sometimes, but that man grinds. That man has your back. That man does it the right way. That's one dude that I ride with always.
Real quick, well, on that topic, like, I feel like the like that phase of like the Rule 5, the minor league phase of the Rule 5 is so interesting because like from Levi's perspective, where he just got picked up by the Diamondbacks, was it the Diamondbacks?
I think Weber's a rattlesnake. Yeah.
Okay.
Something else. Maybe.
I'm not sure. Regardless, it's like that team that you're going to, like they made a very concerted effort to go after you in that minor league Rule 5 draft. So like it's gotta like make you feel real good like for the team that you're going into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just weird. The minor league phase is so strange to me. It's such a weird concept.
It is a weird thing. You just never really know what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Like you go into hopefully a better situation. You go to the big. That's what you can kind of hope for, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. Levi is cool though.
The one teammate that deserves all the love, and this cat, it will always be one of my favorite players, and my pick to click always one of the best hitters and walking barrels on the universe. The prettiest man on the team, Nelson Maldonado.
Nice, dude.
He's honestly a great dude. Like on the field, he's an unbelievable cat, and he rakes like you rakes. He does not miss barrel. Like it's just I don't understand how he does it. I want to learn, and he just rakes.
Was he still by the end of the year still going only one batting glove? Because I respect the hell out of that.
So crazy enough, the one batting glove I almost don't respect. You know what I mean? Because he's so gritty, and he wears no batting gloves.
Yeah.
That he only wears the one batting glove because he physically can't hold it without it. You know what I mean? So like, whenever he has it on, I give him crap for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he literally, like, he'll tell me, he's like, bro, I literally just can't hold on to the bat. And
You're like you're this scrappy guy. Like actually go for it. Like don't half-ass it. Like actually go no batting gloves.
I'm not gonna lie to you though. That guy shakes my hand, and it feels like what a man's hand should feel like. Like that dude's hands are leather.
Well, I mean, if he's shaking you with his right hand, that's the no batting glove hand.
Dude, he's got legit bear paw. He sprays his hand with the spray.
Really? Wait. Okay, so like, hold on. So if he's playing the field, how does he? I mean, I know he DHs quite a bit, but like if he's playing first base and he's going to throw the ball, and he's got this, like, we talked about the tack earlier. That's about as tacky as you can possibly be if he's sitting there spraying for the batting for the pine tar.
Yeah. So luckily with the tough skin though, it doesn't like stick. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, yeah.
But the initial stick is crazy. Like if he would have like walked out to first base and been like, you know what I mean? It went a little crazy, but like when we put it in the box, like he would. I'm rattled by this. Thinking back to it, he would spray his hand. I'm not talking like a. I'm talking like a 7th grade Axe body spray in the. You know, he would get on there, and then he would like walk up, grab his bat, and just I'm not gonna do that over there, but like he would turn his hand and like squeeze the knob on it. And I'm like, I know you're ripping your skin right now.
Yeah. What a stud.
What a demon. Like,
oh, that's crazy, dude.
Pitcher, I'll be like, yeah, this guy's.
Yeah, it kind of intimidated. As a pitcher, you got to be a little intimidated seeing that.
Have to be. He's got big quads and like big, like massive legs too. He's
got built like a running back.
Yeah.
Like if he was the running back at Florida when he was there, I wouldn't have blinked an eye, really.
I mean, there's no chance I'm beating that guy through the A gap. Let me tell you. You know what I mean? And then the other big dude we had was Perlaza. Perlaza's.
I mean, if Maldonado's the running back, Perlaza's the fullback. Yeah,
no, Perlaza, you could really have and do some damage.
He got paid over in Korea.
Paid.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a very good situation for. I mean, he deserves it, man.
Oh yeah.
He's gross.
I mean, he raked the entire year. I mean, he's raked for the past 2 years.
Yeah, and so I think he's in a great position right now. Go over there, hit 75 homers like you're probably going to do, and come back and get big leagues.
Yeah, exactly. Any pitchers that, I mean, I know that's like you're not facing a lot of these guys, but any pitchers that really catch your eye when you're in the outfield?
Obviously my boy Cam Sanders. He's obviously my dog. You know, I mean, he'll always be one of my brothers till the day I die. But aside from him, because obviously he needs to be in the big leagues. He will be in the big leagues. He's going to dominate in the big leagues. Another cat is Walker Powell.
Yeah.
If you want a dude on your podcast that is low key a sleeper, but is going to make a big difference in the big leagues, it is him. Unbelievable guy, like just an old Southern cat, just real good, down to earth dude. Who from day one, when he came up to AA, every guy before that had faltered and just blew it. Just had not had a first good outing. It's with new balls, it's hot, it's humid, and this dude came out and gave us just put his bag out there and just gave us 6 hard innings. So
dude, you know what Walker, like he doesn't have like the Jordan Wicks like pedigree. Like he wasn't the first round pick like Wicks and stuff like that, but like what Walker Powell does that Jordan Wicks also does is like he could give up 3 runs in the first and still go out there and get you 6 innings, which is like that's a very like for people that like don't follow baseball super closely. Like I don't think they'd understand like the importance of something like that. Like I think they look at it at a stat line, right, and say like, oh, he gave up 3 over 6. Like that's good, but like it's not great.
Yeah.
But to know that like if he gave up 3 in the first and still got six innings out of it, like that's important. That's a big deal.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
In terms like that dude is a dog. You know what you're gonna get. If he's not feeling good that day, you're getting 100% of whatever he's got.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he's feeling good that day, he's gonna let you know he's feeling good that day, and he's gonna take it to him. But like, he works hard. He's got a great routine, like a good support system. Like, there's no reason that kid shouldn't dominate in the show. Truthfully,
I like it. Anybody else that deserves a shout? I'm sure there's plenty, but anybody else off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head at the moment. I can't think of anybody at the top of my head.
They're just a whole bunch of studs that were in Tennessee and Iowa last year. So it's I don't want to make you pick.
There's just too many of them. Our team. Okay. Casey Opitz, get that. Hey, do yourself a favor, please.
Yeah.
Get that kid on the podcast.
Should I reach out to Casey for sure?
Let me tell you something. That dude is one of the funniest cats I have ever been around in my whole life. Like, dude, like, it's incredible.
What do you think of the commercial he did?
He's a rock star, that guy.
It was Casey and
What? I think it was Caleb Knight.
Caleb Knight, yeah.
Let me tell you something. Those two are two peas in a pod. Do not get together and alone, dude. Bad things are gonna happen. They just feed off each other like they're literally the same person, just in two different bodies.
That's incredible.
One of the funniest dudes I've ever met in my whole life. Like, he's just a comedian, dude. He's just like the best team guy I've ever had.
Plus, talk about a dude that's slick in the field. He can pick it back behind the plate.
Gross. He's the whole pack. He's literally like he's what I assume like a hockey goalie would be. You know what I mean? Like a little bit out there, but a dog. You know what I mean? Like, he's out there for sure, but he's a dog.
I love it. All right, man. I've had you on for an hour here. I won't keep you much longer here, but I appreciate you coming on the show. You've always got an invite. Always rooting for you here at the Cubs on Deck podcast to go out there and do big things. But congratulations on a great year last year, and hoping for great things from you next year.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me on too. It's been always.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. So for listeners out there, you guys can go check out the show on any of your podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, all that good stuff. You can check us out on the Northside Bound YouTube feed. You can find me on Twitter at Out of the Vines, all that good stuff. Find us over on Instagram at Cubs on Deck. All that good stuff. We can't thank you guys enough for listening every other week. And in the meantime, we'll be back in your ears in 2 short weeks. Thanks, guys.